As a 20 to 30-year-old, you are offered the chance to live rent-free in a retirement or nursing home with the caveat that you must make an effort to spend at least a few hours per day with the other residents, sharing meals, hanging out, etc. Would you take this opportunity, and why or why not? I actually did this in my mid-20s. I was a chef by trade at the time. I got the head chef gig at a community, but it was 2 hours from home. They told me there was one open in my town, but it didn't work out that way. It was great money and I was newly married. To sweeten the deal and not lose me, they offered me a furnished room in the building, and it was only Monday through Thursday. Some of the best times of my 20s were had there. Wee bowling every night, big dinners, movie nights, the whole 9 yards. I enjoyed it immensely and was almost sad when the opening became available in my hometown. I never edit these and usually thank people individually if I get awards, not possible now, so thanks everyone, I appreciate you. Wholesome as fuck, dude. This is part of my inspiration. No. I basically did this twice in my 20s. I became a servant to the entire building. Change a light bulb. Run an errand. Fix the computer. Loneliness wasn't the issue for a whole team of seniors living in the same building. Accomplishing tasks they weren't physically able to do anymore was their issue. Now, the opportunity to live free in a house with 1 to 2 seniors to be their helper and companion, I'd do that, but never a whole building. Second example. A family doctor moved to my area where there is a notable housing shortage for rentals, generally rural area. There is one seniors apartment building that is very nice and not full. Special exception was made for the doctor to have an apartment until she decided to stay as long as she would do on-call medical for the building. She lasted 2 weeks. Said people were banging on her door at all hours, coming home to angry notes that she wasn't home, at work at her medical practice. Lol, never let patients know where you live. Just leads to problems. No, I wouldn't. My job can be fairly demanding, and I like my free time for working on my hobbies or relaxing. I'm a bit of an introvert, and I honestly don't have much in common with the elderly. Not to mention, a room in a nursing home isn't the sort of place I want to live either, regardless of whether or not it's free. Not only is my lifestyle not exactly compatible with the setting, but I'm afraid it might bother the other residents. I got nothing against old people. I just don't want to live in a community of nothing but old people. Love the people saying they can. Guess you have never been in a nursing home. All the death and sickness always around. The poor people with dementia or Alzheimer's and the behaviors that come with it. Not a chance would anyone want to live that long there by their choice. I'm actually surprised that you're the first person to bring this up. While I think there are a ton of great reasons to build intergenerational communities, these are facts that should be considered. Homes are full of old ladies who have decades of experience with crafts, so live in knitting support. Hell yes. You'd have to have the windows open all the time to keep the care home smell at bay though. ITT. People who don't know what life in a retirement home is like. Depends on if you differentiate between a retirement home and a nursing home. My dialect is, retirement homes are basically just assisted living, plenty bearable, while nursing homes are the not-so-great places people go basically to die. What's a few? If we assume that's 3 hours a day, every day, that's about 90 hours a month. Rent for a one-bedroom where I am is about $1,000 per month. Rounding, $11 an hour, less than minimum wage. Not to mention that nursing home rooms are often vastly smaller than even a studio apartment and often don't have kitchens. May or may not allow pets. Probably not. When I was young, I used to go with my church youth group to retirement homes, and we'd just hang out with the old folks and talk to them and do crafts with them. As a kid it took time to get over the weird factor of just hanging out with people we didn't really know, but once that happened, it was awesome. It was like having 30 grandparents who just want to tell you hilarious stories and play board games, probably video games now, and talk. Dude. Old people are so underrated. I'm a church singer. I don't live with them obviously, but I see and have friendships with so very many people who are older. It's wonderful. They're wonderful. If you don't have the opportunity to work with older people, join your local community choir. If you don't know where to look, check the local college. They probably have an evening weeknight choir that's open to everyone and you don't have to audition. There's something so nice about seeing retirees just enjoying themselves. You could think of the few hours per day as a really easy part-time job that pays for your housing. Eating dinner with them would be great. It would count as time spent with them and you wouldn't have to prepare food. I'd try to get them into playing video games, that would be awesome. as long as I was in a section with mentally sound people. Being around people battling dementia and Alzheimer's would be too much for me to deal with. I don't think this kind of scheme would make any sense in a place with a lot of people with dementia anyway. But I imagine elderly people who are frail but still mentally there would be happy with the company. The Netherlands has this exact scheme for students. I would absolutely do this while in grad school. Sometimes just talking to another human about absolutely anything other than school would be amazing. Plus, as a grad student, when you have a chance to explain your work or research to someone else, you have an opportunity to see holes in it that you might not have noticed with your own tunnel vision. Additional bonus if you are a business student and can ask around the place when you have a business idea to see if it would work or be needed. Reality is that the retiring population is the largest demographic and therefore your largest potential customer base.